Hello everybody and happy Easter from Tallinn. So, the European Parliament elections are coming now, and I'm standing up in these elections for the Social Democrats in Finland. I think that we need to get away from the discussion on whether or not the European Union is good or not for us. As we can see, what has happened in a very big member state, the United Kingdom, last few years, proves us how valuable and important the European Union is for us. For our citizens and for our children, grandchildren, for our future. We see the UK having great troubles in their domestic politics. No important reform is being able to be carried out now because of this huge mess that's going on in UK. And the country is moving into a recession with so many jobs being moved out of the UK. Jobs that would otherwise have been available for the people of Great Britain. So I think the discussion on whether or not the European Union is important for us is over. And we need to move into a discussion on what kind of a European Union we want in the future. Do we want a European Union that treats people fairly and equally, no matter what their background is? Or do we want a European Union that segregates people based on their ethnicities or religion or language? I think we need to stand for the first one. An European Union treats people equally, no matter what their background. And I think that the big issue in these elections is going to be social justice. We need to make a more social just Europe for us. A European Union that will tax the rich also, not only the middle class and working class people. When we think about the European Union and about the public deficit that is developing in so many different European countries for the last 20-30 years, the problem is not that we don't have any money. The problem is that we are not taxing it from the rich. We need to move our taxation mechanism more towards how we are going to tax the wealthy. The wealthy is becoming more wealthy and the poor poorer. 1% of the wealthiest in the world is going to by different research estimates, own something like 75% of the whole world's wealth by 2030. This is wrong. European Union needs to stand for the ordinary person, the working class people, the middle class, and make sure that there will be public services available, education, healthcare, social services, everything that we need to build a sustainable society. Another thing is that we have a big issue with is the climate change. Climate change is going to affect so many generations in the future and going to threaten the civilized society that we are going to have in the future. So we need to make all the effort we can and is available to ensure that we are going to fight climate change. It means that I'm going to propose, for instance, that we are going to develop a policy called the Green New Deal. It's a copy of Roosevelt from the 1930s when he developed this policy on how to get Americans back to work after a Great Depression in America. We also have the problem in Europe with this in connection with the recession that we had. We think about what happened in 2008. So many people got marginalized, got pushed out of their jobs and so forth. I think that in Europe it's time that we are going to push for more brave policies. And how we are going to employ people, I think that it's very ambitious if we would develop this new Green Deal. Put something like 2% of our BNP to developing green infrastructure, technology, jobs and so forth, to modernize our economy to make it more green and ecologically sustainable. This is the important thing. The third important thing is that we need to stand for human rights and democracy. We see the situation developing in Hungary and Poland, where in Hungary, for instance, electoral districts are being redrawn according to the ruling party lines, so they will ensure electoral victories in the future, that they are going to control the government media, shut down media because of political differences. I think in democracy we need to stand for freedom of speech and opinion. No matter our differences, this is what democracy is all about. That we can live together in societies even though we have different political opinions. It's also not right that they are shutting down universities there. So we need to think about what we're going to do about these things in the future in Europe. How we are going to deal with member states not abiding to the founding principle rules of the European Union. So these are the kind of issues that we need to talk about, and I'm going to work in these elections. And I will do my very best to stand up for these values, European values that are so important. And I really hope that everybody's going to have a happy Easter now and start thinking about what kind of a future we want in Europe. Thank you.